So Julie, how do you find adopters up in Massachusetts?
So we have a website, we have PawFicLifeRescue.org, and then we have a Facebook page, and we use Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet to kind of get the word out there. We ask for people to foster and people to adopt, but we need more fosters. We need more fosters down in Alabama, we need more fosters up near Uxbridge, Mass. Because without fosters where we're shelterless, there's nothing that we can do.
It's important for a rescue to work with a shelter.
Oh, it's so important. You want to have a good relationship with any other rescue or any shelter that you're working with, because you need that bond, that strong bond where you know that the people that you're working with are really doing the right thing for the dogs.
There's no point in taking a dog all the way to Massachusetts and then adopting them to the wrong home.
You have to build a relationship, you have to build trust. I have to trust that Casey is bringing me these dogs, that giving me the best information that she has on them, the best history that she has. Obviously, we don't always get. She doesn't have a history. I can't get a history. But I think me and Casey have worked together long enough that we're not just acquaintances anymore. I believe we do have a true friendship in this, and we have a true passion for this.
Yes.
And it's and that's the trust, and that's
and these dogs are great, and I wouldn't have any dog in my house if I didn't think that the dog was safe with my kids and my dogs.
Exactly.
Well, and that's why, and Julie can tell you how many times I have stressed. If I cannot feel comfortable with the dog in my house, I'm not going to send it to
Exactly,
Yes.
me too.
And I so appreciate that. And I tell you, all the dogs that I get, they're awesome. They're awesome.
They are.
They're all great.
And they're different.
Yeah.
They're different, but they're all got such special qualities to make good pets.
And the fact that you girls are willing to talk to the adopters, oh, can I ask this or that? Sure, why don't you call their foster mom? And that you girls tell them everything. And so when they get that dog, they know exactly what they're getting. And that's why the adoptions are so successful, because you totally understand the dog. And when you adopt a dog, you're getting what we say you're getting. And people just embrace that, and they love these dogs.
Well, I look at it like
We're foster-based. We can tell you the personality of this animal. We can tell you if it likes cats, if it likes other dogs, if it likes kids, if it's a runner, if it's a lazy dog. We can tell you everything, because the dog is in the homes with the families. And we pride ourselves on that, being able to tell people, unlike other facilities where they have the animal in the cage, they can't really tell you what that personality is like. We keep the animals with us for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And then ta-da, we can tell you everything about them.
if I were to be looking for a dog, and I'm going to a shelter or I'm going to a rescue, and I'm saying, okay, this is the kind of dog I want. This is what I'm looking for. I don't want somebody that's fostering this dog 5 states away telling me, oh, this is the greatest dog in the world. This dog is completely housebroken. This dog has never snapped at my children. He's never tore up anything. And I get this dog to my house, and all of a sudden the only thing he wants to do is use my carpet for his potty pad. Mm-hmm. He wants to eat my grandchildren, and he wants to tear up every piece of furniture in my house. I don't want that.
Then you don't trust anymore.
Exactly.
And that's
very,
She's so
very
used to me
important.
calling her and telling her even the minuscule details, but they're important details.
Those are very important details.
And there's people who don't find that having diarrhea in the car is important because it could be but that's something you need to know so you're ready when you get here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I try to make sure that you know all that stuff. So
Yes.
You know who
And that's the trust.
furniture in my house? I don't want that.
then you don't trust anymore.
Exactly.
and that's why people are afraid to adopt.
Right.
Because,
The
and that's what
respect.
gives Pitbull's bad name.
It is.
Because people can sometimes not be upfront, and that's what I love about you girls is
Well, and that's what
everything
gives-
it is what it is, and this is what this dog is. Do you want that? Are you willing to live with that for 14 years?
Right.
And then if the answer is yes, you've got the perfect fit.
Yes.
Well, and if that's also what gives rescues a bad name.
Yeah.
If they're not fulfilling and they're not coordinating between the rescue and the foster parent and the potential new adopter, that's got to be a triangle, if you will. Just because if you don't have that, you don't know what to expect once that dog gets to you.
And I get tagged in pictures all the time for dogs all across the South. Well, why can't you save this one? People will tell me, why can't you save that one? I don't know anybody in North Carolina or Georgia or Tennessee. What do you want me to do with the dog? Well, can't you just stick it on a truck? No, you can't just stick it on a truck. You got it.
Well, you can, but
That's not rescuing, right? That's not helping the dogs, and that's not helping the adopters.
No.
And that's why I only rescue with you girls, because I know that the dog's going to be what you tell me the dog's going to be.
so the homes they've gotten are like, oh my Lord, it's like dog heaven. Their life is going to be so good, and that we had a part in it, and that's what fosters get to see.
Or you see them on the beach walking in the sand with their families and
Kayaking,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
there's nothing better. I mean, you know, when you're talking about a dog that has been dumped on the streets or been abused or been
Like
beaten
Mally's
or
case, they had her tied up, starving her to death, waiting for her to die.
yeah.
These two have a
And the other one was supposed to be over there somewhere,
Yeah,
which we can't find. No, no.
yeah, he's dead.
So they said they shot him.
What she said exactly was,
She told him to shoot it.
told him to shoot it because it wouldn't eat.
There's no water.
We can't take it without permission.
This pain inside makes me feel alive. There is no reason I can't find. We cannot rise above that. What you believe, you feel the hell will bring. You will not take away what's mine. We will just rise above it. No matter what you believe, you feel the hell will bring.
And now Mally,
The best life.
she does. She's sitting on the couch with the family going like, oh, you are so precious. And Mally's like, me?
And then they came back and adopted her boyfriend from
Yes,
the Florence
they did.
shelter. And he's so happy. It's awesome.
That's why we did it.
If you don't want to foster, because it would hurt you, wound you. Nobody wants to experience pain. But there is pain in life, and what is worse, giving a dog up and having a bit of heartache, or never having actually done something really trying to make a difference in the world. I took in a dog, Bonner, that Debbie had saved. This poor dog was shot with a BB gun. He was paralyzed from the waist down. He was vetted, cared for. He was walking and running.
Hey, baby Bonner. Hey, baby Bonner. He's using his legs. He rode out. Oh, he's tired. Baby Bonner. He just did it. He wiped the red. Come on. Hey, Bonner.
Look, Roseanne, it's baby Bonner.
Putting him, he went to a great home, and the family that adopted him also adopted a dog from the Florence shelter that I had taken up. Her name was Annie, so they adopted Bonner and his girlfriend. And they're a wonderful family, and it wasn't that I had any hesitation with them. They were fantastic. The problem is I was so in love with Bonner, and giving him up was difficult.
I've fostered so much lately because we've had so much need lately. And I'll be honest, I've cried several times, but I cried so hard that day when Moose left me. I almost had myself sick. So I kept checking in, and Chris Taylor was like, okay, that's enough, Mama. I was like, I can't help it. I had him 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And he got his leg
Yes,
broke.
I remember that one.
And it just broke my heart. And he learned to trust again at my house. And when I seen him off, it was like, it tore me pretty good.
And you have to experience that bit of pain. And it wasn't something I would have said, yes, I want to be, hurt in some way. But the pictures that I see and the videos that I get from the family that adopted him, I have so much more joy now than I ever experienced with the pain of adopting him out. It's so worth it. And I've met so many amazing people, so many amazing dogs. Life is different for me now because the world's wide open. There's so many amazing things once you start to reach out to people and people reach out to you. It's so worthwhile. It's hard to explain how worthwhile it is to go and do something that really makes a difference in this world.
Bonner was the perfect example of us working together. He got dumped at Culver Shelter before it was open in the bushes. We think he's a puppy because he's so little. Casey Robertson calls Terry Whalen, who's the president of P.A.W.S.
This morning when I got here to transport, I got out and you've seen him on Facebook today. He's paralyzed in his rear end, and P.A.W.S has generously found a foster for him, and they're carrying him up to the vet here just a little while, and people have been donating and helping with him, and he is the sweetest thing.
I saw on Facebook this morning, and I called Dr. Bonner and talked with him. Would he do an assessment for us? He said he would. So, hey, he's been shot with a BB. And that's what it is. And he said that's where he was shot.
Okay.
And it went, instead of
Right into
hitting
the
the
spinal
vertebrae,
cord?
not into it. They don't,
Okay.
it's on it. He said it needs to come out immediately, like Monday. And he may have a chance. Someone shot this baby. And sweet, he is as sweet as...
What we see here is a metallic object directly located over top of the spinal cord. This is his vertebral column. The spine itself actually runs in this darker area through here. And what's happened is this metallic object, which is a BB, has unfortunately been placed perfectly between two. Would be that the cord, if not permanently damaged.
Luckily, the vertebra stopped it enough so it didn't go in the cord. And they had to chip that vertebra away. We raised money. People from everywhere were donating for this little dog. So now we've got Harvard Shelter volunteers, we've got volunteers in Florence, we've got Paul's volunteers. So then he goes from my house to Massachusetts. So this little dog, this little paralyzed dog, goes around all these people who are willing to help. And that's what we can do.
Together. Yep.
We can, and we do.
And there's a reason for every dog that's saved. And so the family that ended up adopting Bonner, they themselves had been through some hard times, and they tell me that he as much rescued them as they rescued him, and what he means to them, and the happiness and joy that he brings their family 10 times over. They cannot express their gratitude enough. There's a reason. Things that are meant to happen, happen. And there's a reason why he was saved and why he went to Massachusetts.
How we treat them says a lot about us. So if we disregard life, that's the kind of generation we are, and that's what we're teaching our children.
My favorite saying is be a voice for the voiceless. They don't have a voice. We have to be their voice. And if we're not, they don't stand a chance without us.
Kids naturally, most children, unless there's something particularly wrong, most children have ethics and have a heart for animals. And it's
ingrained in them.
It is. Yes. They want to pet the puppy. They want to kiss the puppy. They want to hold it and all those things. And for us to be able to foster that in children, instead of teaching them that animals are nothing, and it doesn't matter what you do, like the little puppy we got the other day because 2 children had thrown it off a roof. Now I wonder what their parents did. Those children didn't get that way by themselves.
As a society, if you're not moral and you don't take care of your sick and your elderly, then what are we doing? And this is why I love working with these girls. So the reason that I partner with 2 rescues, with P.A.W.S and Florence Shelter and the Marion County Humane, is because they're progressive, forward-thinking women who really care and are really working to make a difference. There's, I think, a stereotypical idea of what dog rescue is. We're just all crazy dog ladies and we must just play with puppies all day. And that's just not true. I mean, we are very diligent, hardworking people who are trying to make a difference in society by helping with animals. And there's not one of us who wouldn't help anybody, any person, any animal that we meet. And we need more people in the world like that to make it the kind of environment that we want to be able to raise our children.
And
these girls are
I
great.
honestly think you'll find that most people who work in rescue work or humane society work or shelter work are probably some of the kindest, most gentle-hearted people you will ever find. They're more giving than anybody I've ever met. And it's not just towards the animals.
And there's no money. I mean, we at least, Perfect Life just haven't been open just over a year. There's no funding. There's no funding for any of it. So
And I did want to explain, because to people here, when you say a $450 adoption fee,
It must sound like a lot here, but it's only 50 to
but
spay
see,
a
you
dog.
got transport.
Oh my gosh.
Then after, in Massachusetts, the transport is like $100, $150 per dog.
$150 per dog.
Then,
Angela, what are you doing?
I am filling up Casey's van with yes.
She's so sweet.
Yes. I mean, we appreciate her coming up all the way up this way to bring us the dogs. Absolutely, you know. And unfortunately, you know, donations are few and far between. And if we have it, then we're definitely going to share it.
to have this, and they have to stay there for 3 days before she can pick them up. So she got to pay for that too.
It's a process. So the dogs have to be vetted down here. Then they get picked up by the transport truck on a Thursday. They get dropped off and quarantined up in Massachusetts on a Saturday. And then I go pick them up with my girlfriend Rachel of the rescue up in Massachusetts on a Monday. And then we have a big meet and greet in my backyard. Thank you, honey, for letting us do that. And,
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, we love you, Jim.
Would you be doing what you're doing now if you didn't have support of your family?
Support of my husband, absolutely not. If he did not work extra hours to allow me to have a little bit of extra money to save this many lives a month, I couldn't do it. So without him, I might get to make one transport a month, but not anywhere near what I'm doing now. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've done, this is the 11th. This is the 11th transport in 14 days. So without him, no, I might have done one in that time.
So is there anything you want to say to him?
Hello, you honey.
Husband, 2 small boys, and a full-time job.
Yeah. And it's busy. I mean, we all trying to work and do what we can, but it is that rewarding that you get up every day and forego that shower and grab a cup of coffee on your way out the door and you do what you have to do. The dogs are just, they're so worth it. And you really just, if we can just get together more and have more rescues work together more and educate folks.
Yeah, the support thing is
from
so
other
important because on the day I'm down, you're not, and on the day you're down, she's not. And so if everybody's down the same day, it's not good.
And it does get frustrating, and I'm the first to admit it.
There's been many nights where I am mentally exhausted.
And I sometimes blow my stack. I sometimes get really ugly with people, and it's not intentional. It's just a total frustration, just absolute overwhelming frustration. But I will get up the next day and I will do it all over again. You know,
Because it means saving lives.
Yes, this is a real commitment. This is not some, you know, it's not a phase, and people need to realize, you know, this. You're in this for the long haul.
Because when you deal, it is, but when you deal with it day in and day out, everybody has a breaking point, and there comes to this breaking point. But the very minute you have that breaking point, somebody sends you an email, or somebody sends you a picture, or somebody calls you and says, hey, you know, Cassie's doing great, she's doing fantastic, just wanted to send you a new updated picture. And all of a sudden that frustration and that anger and that just total chaos in your life just turns around and everything's happy again.
It's awesome. Our doctors have been great. The dogs have been great. There's nothing not wonderful about what we do, and it saves lives, and it is so rewarding for the dogs that you help and for the experience with all the wonderful people that you meet.
Hi, we're the Hendricks family.
And this is Buddy, our Alabama special.
I guess it was back in November. Clay had to work that night, so he was going into work late. And he said, there's a little puppy out here. So I looked out, and he was just so cute. But he was really skinny then. You could see his ribs. So he was in our garage, and we got him some food. So we asked around and put it on Facebook, and nobody claimed him. So then we started trying to find him a home.